Hey, fellow podcaster, are you ready to have a celebrity influencer on your podcast? Are they one and the same anymore? Influencers versus celebrities, they're kind of all falling in the same boat, especially as people hit the millions and millions and millions, even on TikTok, right? And so I'm curious for you, what's stopping you? Why are you not already having these types of conversations with these status of guests? I think a lot of times I can answer the question for you. Is you're discrediting yourself or you're not actually even trying. So I want to go through just a couple of things to cue you up, right? To tee you off in a way that it's going to create a successful hole-in-one. I love this golf analogy today for you as a podcaster bringing on celebrity guests or influencers. There is a powerful way to create connection, partnership, and show up as an influencer in the contrary when you have a celebrity on your show. So I'm going to teach you both and how to get them there and then how to share once you have them there so that they feel seen, heard, and known, because everybody loves a good pat on the back, but simultaneous, they want to know that this is of value to them. So let's talk about value, all right? This is generally the number one place we have to start. A lot of times as a business coach, people will come to me with a good idea and it is not sanctioned necessarily on something that really ignites passion and purpose. It's just a good idea. And I can share that they're likely going to burn out. As someone who's also brought to life over 36 podcasts in a retreat format with people who come in from around the country to do so, they are recognizing that they don't have number one figured out. And really they're coming with number three, which is the business or the podcast or things like that. You're coming with, I want a celebrity guest, and you're not willing to do the hard work in order to get it to that place. I speak to the harvesting of things, and in order to reap a harvest, in order to have these guests and to have the numbers and the viewership and the traction and the relatability and the partnership that you want, you have to start with one. One is being, okay? Being, then brand, then business. Being, then brand, then celebrity. Being, then brand, then successful podcast, okay? So being is the identity piece. It's the mindset work that we have to do as podcasters in order to pitch someone, right? Pitching can feel slimy, but we're going to get into pitching in step 3. First, it's just your mindset towards the idea. 1, your show matters. 2, your voice matters. 3, your message matters. 4, and the foundation of it all, you matter. But do you believe that? Because I think when we think about creating a business associated to a podcast or a podcast associated to a business, they go both ways, which is awesome. This has been the fundamental way that we have skyrocketed from an influence perspective in our business and keep consistently hitting top 1%, top 0.3%. I don't even know. 0.3% is where we're at, but it sounds weird. So I just like saying top 1%. This is your knowing that mindset matters connected to how I show up to my message and my mission. But do you know your message and your mission? Or are you just doing it because it's a good podcast idea? What is going to continue to burn inside of you if you don't say these things or connect about this specific topic? And so with this being set, with this of value, you valuing yourself, this hierarchy of celebrityism or influencers, it starts to go like this. Because just because someone has influence doesn't mean that their message is less important than yours. Maybe yours is even more because they just had a viral TikTok video, or they just had a viral YouTube video, or they just got a break, a good break, right? Oh, we all want a good break. I want a good break. But it's this knowing that as you value yourself, there isn't this like far out in wonderland idea. It's, hey, I'm going to go up and I'm going to knock on the neighbor's door. We live in the same hood, y'all. Okay. Number 2 is branding. So being mindset, being identity, heart set. 2, branding. Branding is the relational capital. It's the communication. It's the messaging. It's associated to how do you show up in the world. So is your podcast cover exuding your brand and your message? Are your Instagram handles, your Facebook, your TikTok, are those things branded effectively and efficiently that it looks professional? If someone has limited time, which we can all raise our hand to, but for some reason we think celebrities are busier. I don't like the word busy. I believe I am more intentional, and you can be intentional in your time. So if a celebrity or an influencer is intentional with their time and they only have a specific amount of time that they can fill in guest slots like this, they've got to know that it's of value to them to do it. That your podcast has been consistently dropping on the same day for the last 6 months. That when you go to them, there's going to be consistency in your brand appeal and to your message when you guys have a conversation. So whether or not they're the ones vetting the podcast or you're the one with their agent vetting the podcast, right? Because they might not ever listen to your show when they come on live with you, because some people just don't have that ability to do. I'm one of them sometimes. I'm like, hey, how's it going? I can't wait to hear your show, right? I like to at least listen to the intros and stuff, but sometimes it's not there based on the how and the why of how I set up my show and my time and my intentionality. So it might be the same for you. So the question is being and then brand. Is there seamlessness? Is there consistency? Can they trust, like, and know you well enough from an exterior perspective, even though you might be the kindest, best person in the whole wide world? Okay. Number 3. I would love to say that it's business. This is kind of the business of getting the celebrity on there, but the business is the actual show. This is the pitching element. So pitching, you either have to have a formalized email with a media kit associated to your podcast and also your links inside of it. Now, don't go link crazy. Go to this website. No. The link to book, the link to get on the show. You can have the link to the show and a link to book on the show. Don't go bananas, because just as if you were going to be inundated with a pitch, you don't want too much information. You're not going to read the whole thing. They're going to hit the bullet points. So what are the bullet points? Why do you love that person? Why do you think they'd be a great fit for your show? Maybe even creating a bomb video that is you kind of like holding up their name. Hey, Patricia. Hey, Doug. Right? Those are the randomest names I just chose. They're just the top of mind. And so you are actually showcasing to them that you've put in extra effort just for them. This is not just a pitch email to all the other people. What is standing them apart? You've listened to their show, you've watched their show, you've followed them for years, you've read their book. They want to know that you are an invested member of their community. Because if you're a community member, they want to do gratitude swap. They want to share with you just as much as you want to share with them. They want to expand because you are their ideal avatar, likely. You are the person that they want to reach. And so if your listeners and the people you are speaking to are connected to you, they want access. So this is where this gap starts to close when you recognize your value and you recognize the people you're connected to. The expansion of your community is actually an element of access to them. So you, my friend, are doing them a favor by them coming on your show. Yes, a favor. They want more reach. They want more influence, no different than you. And so if you're doing a formalized email, those are my biggest takeaways for you. Hopefully you took notes, because I'm not going to be able to say them in order again. The secondary way, and this has been predominantly how we have gotten them on our shows. We've had people, Tim Story and I hang out on Clubhouse, so that's neither here nor there anymore. How about Dave Hollis? Okay, Dave Hollis, who was married to Rachel Hollis in the past. He's a best-selling author of multiple books. He used to work for Disney. And he, and even now, his now girlfriend, so strange how the cookie crumbles and the world changes over the evolution of 4 years even, Heidi, his now girlfriend, who was on the co-host of The Biggest Loser. Biggest Loser? Yes. Oh my goodness. I'm thinking of 2 shows at the same time. Anyway, Heidi Powell, Chris Powell's wife from the ABC show. And I've had both of them on. Spans of years apart. Obviously, it was easier to get Heidi because I had Dave, so Dave could put in a good word. But when I first went after Dave Hollis to have him on, it was just on Instagram. I literally had just been engaging with him. He is a part of a book launch team that I was on. I was on his book launch team. I was sending comments. I was tagging him in stories as he was asking. And so my name was not new to him when I reached out for this pitch, okay? Can you see how that would actually intrigue someone if they have seen your name multitude of times and now you're asking them a favor, versus what a lot of people do? They just go for the jugular and they're like, who's this person? I feel uncomfortable. This feels weird. I don't feel like there's a value exchange here. So providing them engagement on their social channels is actually providing them value. Tag friends. Let them see that you're actually trying to help them grow influence and share their message too, even though ultimately you'd love for them to be on your show. There's nothing wrong with that. I'll scratch yours, you scratch my back, right? This is how it works. All right, now to the good stuff. I said, don't underestimate the power of your show for influence and gifting your celebrity/influencer on your podcast. You want to gift something to them. Yes, it's outside of your time. It's additional time, investment. Yes. Yes, it's an element of affirmation for them. And simultaneous to that, it makes your show look so good. So when you're going to go back to branding, this really helps with that. So you can see over the course of 4 years, all of our podcasts have been live since day one, a live video podcast. I highly encourage you to have a vodcast. That's what we call it, a vodcast, which allows you to create all of that additional content. But simultaneous to that, there's a trick. Because celebrities and influencers don't generally follow the check mark list of how to get on a show. So for me, for instance, if someone who I don't know or doesn't have influence is jumping on, everybody has influence, by the way. Let me change my phraseology there. Everybody has influence. I love you all. Doesn't matter how many followers you have, right? We all have influence. So, however, when they don't have, I can't Google them and find 5,000 images. Okay. That's what I mean by influence in that regard. I don't have access to their media. I can't pull something off of their Instagram. So generally when someone comes through, I don't have their bio. They don't have a Wikipedia page about them. Okay. You see the difference? I love you. We're all going to have Wikipedia pages at some point. Maybe you can start your own today. Don't do that. But you would go through this type form is what we use, or it could be a Google form where you would fill out my bio, the links I want to share, the headshots that I have, all that stuff. Well, celebrities and influencers are busy. They're intentional. And therefore they don't do this. They just think, well, they have me on my show. It's an honor, right? I'll just come in with a blaze of glory. It'll be amazing. They don't need anything from me. I don't have to do that. They can find it all out online. Don't ever let me be that type of influencer or celebrity, by the way. At least have a team who's going to do the things for you. They probably do, but they just, for some reason, don't do this, at least from my experience with all the celebrities we've had on our show. So with that being said, you've got to do some recon work. You've got to put in some extra effort in order to have them on the show. And one of the ways that we do that is we create a video trailer for them to show them that we've spent that time designated to them and this show, and we're grateful for them. It's an honor, it's a gratitude note, and it also makes them feel really good. So we do a video trailer after we have our green screen time. Then there is a surprise as we go live video trailer. They do not know this is going to happen. So of course they're like watching themselves. I love watching them in the green room. They're watching themselves because everybody likes to watch themselves and hear themselves, right? And then it's the video trailer of the show, which now they're invested to watch what's going to happen next. Am I going to be in it again? So now they get to see all the other celebrities or people that you've had that have been amazing on your show. And now they are so energized to start a conversation with you. They show up differently. They show up bolder. They show up in all of their, again, glory, but in a state of gratitude. And usually almost 90% of the conversations of my podcast start with, that video was awesome. That music was awesome. And the podcast guests who listen later, the podcast community that listens later, doesn't even actually see that specific thing, because they're not watching it live. But if they're watching it live, then they'll see it. And obviously the green room is a live experience because I go live with the podcast. So I encourage you to start a video trailer. This is going to bless you in so many ways because it's going to bless them. So go to the DM, do a formalized email pitch. I'm going backwards on the list. Make sure that your branding is consistent and good. And remember, at the end of the day, it's about you and the value you bring, the message that you have that matters. So get your mind right. All right, y'all. Good luck. Blessings. Let me know if you have a celebrity on the show. Tag me and I'll come support. Bye.